Yo, what is up guys? Max here, helping you guys level up your game, and in this video I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on how to stop missing easy shots in Fortnite. Now this is and has been going on for a while, since the very start of the game, and it pretty much takes place in every shooter game possible, because you have those times when you're going on a bit of a decline and you keep missing easy shots that you should have hit on a good day. And there's two main reasons behind it. It's either panic or burnout that you experience when you've actually played a game for a very long time, or panic is actually something that a lot of new players experience that haven't actually had much time to play the game yet. Both, of course, are sort of mechanical related issues, because shooting is a mechanic within the game, but both also associate to a mental sort of state, which makes it a little bit of a weird topic to talk about and cover in complete detail. But I'll try my best for you guys, and without any further ado, let's pretty much get into it. So if you're a new player and you haven't had much time to play this game, and you panic when you actually come into an engagement because you know that you're not the best at this game yet, and you're just trying to get better at it basically. First of all, I've made a video on this topic before, how to stop panicking in Fortnite, and I've also made a video called how to be more confident, so you might want to give that a watch. But secondly, one tip that I love to actually give to people who start panicking whenever they come into the engagement is start getting into the engagements first, and stop waiting for people to come to you and for you to actually just panic and miss your shots. First of all, this will give you an advantage when you take part in a gunfight, but also it will just help you figure out the core mechanics of the game and understand how people actually play out fights in Fortnite. And those are pretty much some basics for the new players that have actually started playing Fortnite recently. But let's move on to people who actually just miss easy shots and have been playing Fortnite for a while. So first of all, let me talk about what platform you actually play on. Not so much the platform, but what gear you actually have, because if you are a TV player and you have like a 42 or a 45 or 50-inch TV that you play on, I understand it might look smooth and you probably don't experience any trouble, but the responsiveness of your gameplay is probably very low, and there's a lot of input delays. So do keep that in mind, because if you actually wanna be a consistent Fortnite player, you will need a monitor, because there's just no way around it really. Now let's talk about some actual in-game tips that will help you stop missing easy shots. And first of all, let's talk about warming up. A warm-up nowadays is crucial, and it's hands down one of the things that just makes you play way better when you get into a game. So you guys want to be 1v1 in your buddies and box fighting them most of the time, because that's kind of the meta nowadays. You can end fights relatively quickly compared to normal 1v1 build fights. And something I want to actually tell you about is start actually scoping in when your aim is not on point. I think a lot of people forget that you can actually scope in or aim in with your shotguns, and it will actually give you a massive boost, because if you can pretty much guarantee a solid hit with a pump or attack, then that pretty much gives you a massive advantage in the fight. And people kind of forget about scoping because they keep jumping in fights, especially shotgun fights nowadays. So I don't really blame you, but do make sure that you guys are actually scoping in when your aim isn't so good. But anyways, moving on to the second tip, you want to be centering your crosshairs. And what I mean by that is you gotta keep your crosshair in the middle of the screen whenever you're running or whenever you're in a fight, and that is because it will just be very easy to actually move it when you see an opponent. Because if your crosshair was at the bottom of your screen, let's say, it would pretty much take you an extra few milliseconds for you to move it. And not only will those few milliseconds count every now and then, because your opponent will pretty much be able to take a chunk of damage from you and say place a wall in front of you so that you can't hit them anymore, but also not keeping your crosshair in the middle will kind of screw over your muscle memory, and all the practice that you just did in creative will pretty much disappear just like that. So do make sure you center your crosshairs. One of the most underrated tips that I've actually learned from Gronky. If you guys know who that is, hit me up in the comments, you know, we can have a little conversation. But anyway, moving on to the next thing. And that is going to be stop overcomplicating things. I mean, sometimes when your shot isn't on point and you've just been losing a few games in a row, you start thinking like, damn, am I really good enough? Like, what's going on right now? And you gotta drop that, man. Mindset is everything in this case, and you just gotta keep going, man. Anyways, moving on to one of the last few tips, you gotta make your sensitivity something that actually suits your playstyle. If you're a very aggressive player that likes to build and just push players outrageously, you know, you like W keying people, you gotta make your sense pretty high so that you can actually turn around in fights. On the other hand, if you like hitting your shots and you know you play it slow sometimes and just try to outsmart your opponent, then make sure that your sense isn't that high, you can control it, and it's, you know, something in the range of 6.5 to 7 maybe for X and Y. And as long as you stick with that sensitivity, you're gonna become more and more consistent with it over time, and I'm sure your aim will, you know, start coming back slowly but surely. But anyways guys, if this video has helped you, then make sure to leave a like on the video, make sure to subscribe with notifications on to the channel to never miss another tutorial from me ever again, and most importantly, make sure you use the code MaxGamer7 if you want to help me and the channel out at no extra cost. And yeah, I do hope I see some comments down in the description with some video suggestions for the future. But anyways guys, on that note, I am out. Peace.